ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ जगतीमवितुं कलिताकृतयो विचरन्ति महामहसच्चलतः अहिमांशुरिवात्र विभासि गुरो भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणं। समस्तब्रह्मविद्या आचार्येभ्यो नमः। ॐ अथर्वऋषये नमः। मण्डूकमहर्षये नमः। गौडपादाचार्यवर्याय नमः। आद्यशङ्करसद्गुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ अथ अथर्ववेदान्तर्गतमाण्डूक्य उपनिषद शान्तिमन्त्रः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ अथ श्री आद्यशङ्कराचार्यविरचित मङ्गलाचरणश्लोकद्वयम्। ॐ प्रज्ञानां सुप्रतानैः स्थिरचरनिकरव्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् स्थविष्टान् पुनरपि धिषणोद्भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुक् मायया भोजयन्नः। मायासङ्ख्यातुरीयं परममृतमजं ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि। यो विश्वात्मा विधिजविषयान् प्राश्य भोगान् स्थविष्टान् पश्चाच्चान्यान् स्वमतिविभवान् ज्योतिषा स्वेन रूपान् सर्वानेतान् पुनरपि शनैः स्वात्मनि स्थापयित्वा हित्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् विगतगुणगणः पात्वसौ नस्तुरीयः। ॐ ओमित्येतदक्षरमिदगं सर्वं तस्योपव्याख्यानं भूतं भवद्भविष्यत् इति सर्वमोङ्कार एव। यच्चान्यत्रिकालातीतं तदप्योङ्कार एव। सर्वं हि एतद्ब्रह्म अयमात्मा ब्रह्म सोऽयमात्मा चतुष्पात् जागरितस्थानः बहिष्प्रज्ञः सप्ताङ्गः एकोनविंशतिमुखः स्थूलभुग्वैश्वानरः प्रथमपादः स्वप्नस्थानः अन्तःप्रज्ञः सप्ताङ्गः एकोनविंशतिमुखः प्रविविक्तभुक्तैजसः द्वितीयः पादः। यत्र सुप्तो न कञ्चन कामं कामयते यत्र कञ्चन स्वप्नं पश्यति तत्सुषुप्तं सुषुप्तस्थानः एकीभूतः प्रज्ञानघन एव आनन्दमयो हि आनन्दभुको चेतोमुखः प्राज्ञः तृतीयः पादः। एष सर्वेश्वरः एष सर्वज्ञः एषोऽन्तर्यामी एष योनिः सर्वस्य प्रभवाप्ययौ हि भूतानां नान्तः प्रज्ञं न बहिष्प्रज्ञं नोभयतः प्रज्ञं न प्रज्ञानघनं न प्रज्ञं न प्रज्ञम् अदृष्टमव्यवहार्यम् अग्राह्यमलक्षणम् अचिन्त्यमव्यपदेश्यम् एकात्मप्रत्ययसारं प्रपञ्चोपशमं शान्तं शिवम् अद्वैतं चतुर्थं मन्यन्ते स आत्मा स विज्ञेयः। सोऽयमात्मा अधि अक्षरम् ओङ्कारः अधिमात्रं पादामात्राः मात्राश्च पादाः अकार उकारो मकार इते जागरितस्थानः वैश्वानरः अकारः प्रथमा मात्रा आप्तेः आदिमत्वाद्वा आप्नोति ह वै सर्वान् कामान् आदिश्च भवति य एवं वेद स्वप्नस्थानः तैजसः उकारः द्वितीया मात्रा उत्कर्षात् उभयत्वाद्वा उत्कर्षति ह वैज्ञानसन्ततिं समानश्च भवति न अस्य ब्रह्मवित्कुले भवति य एवं वेद सुषुप्तस्थानः प्राज्ञः मकारः तृतीया मात्रा मितेः अभीतेः वा विनोति ह वा इदगं सर्वम् अभीतिश्च भवति य एवं वेद अमात्रः चतुर्थः अव्यवहार्यः प्रपञ्चोपशमः शिवः अद्वैतः एवम् ओङ्कारः आत्मा एव संविशति आत्मना आत्मानं य एवं वेद य एवं वेद ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ श्री आदिशङ्करस्वामिनः कृत मङ्गलाचरणश्लोकानि अन्ते। ॐ अजमपि जनियोगं प्रापदैश्वर्ययोगात् अगतिजगतिमत्तां प्रापदेकं ह्यनेकं विविधविषयधर्मग्राहिमुग्धे क्षणानां प्रणतभयविहन्तृब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि प्रज्ञावैशाखवेधक्षुभितजलनिधेः वेदनाम्नोऽन्तरस्थं भूतान्यालोक्यमज्ञानि अविरतजननग्राहघोरे समुद्रे कारुण्यादुद्धधारामृतमिदम् अमरैर्दुर्लभं भूतहेतोः यस्तं पूज्याभिपूज्यं परमगुरुममुं पादपातैर्नतोऽस्मि यत्प्रज्ञालोकभासा प्रतिहतिमगमत् स्वान्तमोहान्धकारः मज्जोन्मज्ज च घोरे हि असकृत् उपजनोदन्वतित्रासने मे यत्पादावाश्रितानां श्रुतिशमवनय प्राप्तिरग्र्याह्य अग्र्याह्यमोघा तत्पादौ पावनीयौ भवभयविनुदौ सर्वभावैर्नमस्ये। इति श्रीमत्परमहंसपरिव्राजकाचार्य गोविन्द भगवत्पूज्यपाद शिष्यस्य श्रीमच्छङ्करभगवतकृतो माण्डूक्योपनिषद गौडपादीय कारिकाणां च भाष्ये चतुर्थमलादजान्तिप्रकरणम्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Having saluted the Shruti Mata, the entire Guru Parampara, also our Ishtadevata and our own Gurus, let us feel that we are in a most blessed times of our life, where we are at least given an opportunity to peep into these great Shastras, which are ultimate, which are the indicators of the ultimate goal and the means. With this feeling that we are blessed, we should make our blessedness more powerful by being utmost sincere in pursuit of the truth ultimate through the study of the Shastras. In the sense, feel so much for our own selves that may I make use of this opportunity bestowed by the God and Guru of studying Shastra very deeply, very intensely, very intently, that every word that is spoken is not only thoroughly heard, contemplated, understood, but I will make each of these things as my own experience. With this sort of feeling, with this sort of involvement, with this sort of commitment, when we do, then we are justifying our study of Shastras. We are deserving the grace blessings of the Guru Shastra and Bhagwan, and we really feel or get that deeper, higher, sublime, more divine experience of our real true nature. Only in the pursuit of trying to experience our essential self that we will be able to get out of the bondages and clutches of not self, which on the name of giving us sukha are only binding to us to the samsara of eternal struggle, the samsara of eternal longing, samsara of eternal all sorts of attachments and inner emotions. If the goal is not Paramatma, we can never come out of the samsara. We can never come out of our struggles. We can never come out of our transmigrations, moment to moment and life to life. It is pakka. One cannot change this sentence at all. And by God's grace, as we are here, may we commit that way for this path and goal through our everyday's pursuit. May no day go without our deeper study, deeper feeling. If nothing is done, at least we can do the sankalpa, at least we can do the prarthana, at least we can feel that longing. At least we can say, how long I am bound in this world? When will I start becoming serious, sincere about my preparation, about my qualification, about my ability, about my being a receiver of the blessings of the Shastra? In this way, when we equip ourselves from this moment, maybe after few months or few years, all that obstruction in our life for the spiritual unfoldment may recede. Then may our path become very simple, straight, smooth. Without obstruction, Shastra is studied. Without problem, Shastra is understood. Without any hindrance, what is understood is being contemplated upon, and with all the grace, the experience is gained. We're all aiming at that. There's no second thought, there's no second sankalpa, second pursuit at all in our life. Having said so, in this verses number 89 90, we are seeing the essence of the entire Vedanta to be understood, to be practiced, and to be explained. Jnanena vidite gneye, kramena vidite swayam. सर्वज्ञता हि सर्वत्र भवतीह महाधियः न्याये च ज्ञाने च त्रिविधे ज्ञेये क्रमेण विदिते स्वयं सर्वज्ञता हि सर्वत्र भवतीह महाधियः. This is an introductory push as to what to do and what happens when you do what is to be done. What is to be done? Jnane cha trividhe gneye kramena vidite. Then what will happen? Swayam sarvagnatahi sarvatra bhavati ha mahadhiyaha. Such mahadhiyaha sarvagnata bhavati. Sarvagnata bhavati means what? He discovers himself to be sarvam. He discovers himself to be sarvam, and he becomes the knower of this sarvam. So sarva and gnya. I am everything and I know that I am everything. In other words, there is no thing other than me. There is no thing other than me, and I am aware of that. I am aware of that. That's called a sarvagnata. And is it that only on the seat of meditation? No, sarvatra. This sarva shabda is for the sake of outsiders. For and the experience level, the word of sarva is not related or valid. That will be spoken in tomorrow's class in our next to next mantras. Be careful. Sarvagnata means aham sarvamasmi tadaham janami. I am everything and I know that I am everything. In other words, there is no thing other than me. And it is in all times and places and situations and circumstances from the angle of the worldliness of the worldly people. Any language is asked or any question is asked in any language, this is the answer is given. I am everything and I know I am everything. There's no thing other than me, and this is all the time. Bhavatiha Maha. This is the state of realization. What is state of realization? Everything is me and that I am conscious of. No thing is there other than me. And this is all the time. Sarvatra, all places, all situations. So I am everything. Whatever is Indriyas are reporting, Mana is reporting in the form of Shabda, Swarsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, in the form of emotions, including these upadhis, perceiving upadhis, subtle, gross or upadhis. All of them is me, and I'm fully conscious that all of them is me. And no thing is other than me. In any plane of consciousness, wherever it is. Sarvatra means in Jagrat, in Swapna, and in Sushupti, in Samadhi, even in Jagrat, in every temperament or mood or activity, whatever is seen so far as something other, something dual, something gross, subtle, causal, all that discovered to be one and one alone, and that is me. That is the meaning of Sarvagnata hi Sarvatra Bhavati. And to reach to that level, Mahadhiya. That Mahadhiya means what? He has transcended the Alpadhi of valuing any Alpavastu other than the infinite Paramatma. He is called as Mahadhi. Alpadhi is the one who is seeking Alpa, the one who is satisfied with the Alpa. He has not lifted or shifted his intellect to the understanding of the presence of infinite, nor he has got sankalpa or desire or longing for the infinite. He is called as Alpa Buddhi. Mahabuddhi is understood the infinite. Mahabuddhi is desired the infinite. Mahabuddhi is pursued the infinite. And Mahabuddhi is experienced the infinite. He is no more an Alpa Buddhi. Mahadhiya. In that Mahadi, at some deeper level, in that contemplative mood, enough of living with the limited things, enough of the karma, upasana, enough of the Vastu Vyakti Vishesha in the Jagat. All of that is only abhasa because chitta spandana. The more I give value importance to it, they appear to be important. And when they are important, I involve. When I involve, not only it gives me this dukkha, but it denies me of this ananta sukha. Somehow, to this ultimate crux of the thought, we have to have understanding and conviction. That's called Mahadhiya. What is it? Enough of living the life of Jiva in this world of multiplicity with variety of ragadvesha, seeking the sukha but getting only the dukkha, and in turn forgetting my own blissful infinite self. Enough of it. Now on, I am slowly withdrawing from all this consciously, deliberately, and only discovering my own sarvagnatva and sarvatratva. That feeling is called Mahadhiya. The Alpadhi wants Indrapada, Brahmapada. The Alpadhi wants Trilokadipatyam. The Alpadhi wants to be the ruler of this world. The Alpadhi wants the Sukha Bhoga through Vastu Vyakti Vishesha, through Dehendriya Manobuddhi in this Jagat. All of them are less matured. Alpadhi. Because in the conviction, desire for whatever they have, those things are limited, temporary, permanent, not real. They're all delusory. Therefore, he's not expanded his intellect. Therefore, he's called Alpadhi. But the one who studied Mandukya 10, 20 times, exclusively, single pointedly, they understood each and every sloka and karika, and in that he understood what karika, kara, bhashyakara were indicating about the infinite Paramatma, Ajata Brahma, Ekameva Dvayam Brahma, Advitiya Brahma, Ekameva Dvayam Nehana Nasti. He is soaked into the feeling of that so much, he wants only that and that and that alone. And he seeks and he gets it also. He is called Mahadhiya. So such Mahadi only will understand. He will know the Jnane, then Trivide Jneya, then Kramena Vidite. Slowly he discovers the Sarvam. He discovers to be consciousness, and he discovers that everything has consciousness as himself. And that remains all the time. Sarvatra means it doesn't go away. It is like, remember, any knowledge which is thoughtful, that is having chance of forgetting. Because the thought knowledge has to be remembered again and again. Variety ways you have to remember it. कोई कोटेशन लिखो, कोई रिमेंबर कर लो, किसी को मांगो या दोबारा पढ़ो. Any knowledge at the experience at the level of thoughts is forgettable. Therefore, it needs to be remembered through effort. But this knowledge or experience of the self is neither thought knowledge nor the knowledge of the not self. It is about my own self. Therefore, there is no forgetfulness of it. Therefore, there is no need of struggle to remember it. Therefore, it is always that only. That's the meaning of Sarvatra. Sarvatra, I am that always, like I am a man. I don't need to remember it. Nobody need to remind me. Everywhere, whenever we go, it's Sarvatra, I am that. In the same way, in Nidra, man or woman may be forgotten because the Deha, the Atma is given up. But in the Atma Anubhuti, no point of the time where it is forgotten because I can't be separate from that experience of mine. And it is not thought dependent. That there is a forgetfulness that somebody should remind me, or I have to I have to try to remember it. This will be again told in our 93, 94 slokas. Very beautiful they are. So this is what. Then, having introduced this way, ज्ञानेन विदिते त्रिविधे ज्ञेये क्रमेण विदिते स्वयं सर्वज्ञताय सर्वत्र भवति. Now, keeping his own that karika in mind, feeling that in one sloka, let me exhaustively give the entire sadhana for the students of this Mandukya Upanishad with karika, with this kindness, with this compassion, in this 90th mantra, which we are seeing from last 3 days, Karika Kara has given the entire synopsis of sadhana, the subheadings. You have to work out those details of each subheading and accomplish those things. What are that four things? हेयज्ञेयाप्यपाख्यानि विज्ञेयान्यग्रयाणतः तेषाम् अन्यत्र विज्ञेयात् उपलम्बस्त्रिषु स्मृतः. हेयज्ञेयाप्यपाख्यानि विज्ञेयान्यग्रयाणतः तेषाम् अन्यत्र विज्ञेयात् उपलम्बस्त्रिषु स्मृतः. By heart this mantra, like Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Sarvadharman Paritijya Matta Partanam Nanyat Karpanya Dosho Bhavata Swava Etam Vibhutim Yogam Sarvasvacham Rudhi Sannivishtaha. These shlokas of Gita we told you to by heart sometime. In the same way, in this Upanishad also, Nanirodho Nachotpatti Shlokaha Laye Sambodhye Chittam then Vikshittam Shamayat Punaha Sakashajam Vijaniyat Samapraptam Nacharayet न कश्चित् जायते जीवः संभवोस्य न विद्यते एतत् तदुत्तमं सत्यं यत्र किंचित् न जायते. These are the crux shlokas we reminded you to study many a times and remember. In that category, in fact, in the top 5 comes this shloka. हे यज्ञेयाप्यपाख्यानि विज्ञेयान्यग्रयाणतः तेषामन्यत्र विज्ञेयात् उपलम्बस्त्रिषु स्मृतः. Revel in the shloka, chanting in the meaning, in the bhashya, in the contemplation. Never give time, never give the mind for anything other than that. That is the only to escape the mind which is Maya and the projection of mind Maya called as the world. There is no other way. Okay? So, in that Vijnayani Agrayanadaha, you must by any means, whatever any mean, go into the Guru, studying from the Shastra. First, be thorough about these 4 things: Heya, Gneya, Apya, and Pakya. In the Heya came the 3 avasthas, Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti, which are called as Laukika, then Shuddha Laukika, Lokottara. Heya. And why Heya? We already said because of 3 things. One, they are abstractions for Paramatma Anubhuti. Second, they are not at all in the Paramatma. Third, whenever they are seen, they are only Mithya. You can add one more. If you involve in them, there is an endless samsara. Therefore, heyam is a feeling, deep feeling. What deep feeling? Hatavya means what? Like in today's world, किसी न किसी मेहनत कीमत से इन तीनों अवस्थाओं में रहकर मुझे सुखी होना है. This is how all of us are deeply having the thought in us. The thought is not consciously expressed, but that thought is the one which is continuously working, making us work to do this or that and to experience this or that in this or that avasthas. This is what we are now. Exactly like that, but the opposite must be there. Ki somehow, any or every how, I must give up, I must transcend, I must go away from these 3 avasthas. That feeling, that effort is called as hatavyatva. Heya is the word used by Karikakara, Gaudapada, Bhagavan Shankara added the Tavya Pratyaya and he said Hatavyaha. Like when you are in a misery, somehow or the other I must come out of it. Don't we feel it or not? When we are too hungry, somehow I must eat something and fill my stomach. Is it not? In the same way, Heyani means not that he is suggesting us, beta, you have to give up these 3 avasthas. No, it is I who will have to deeply feel from within. Because these 3 avasthas are limiting my purview and giving me only small little sukhas and binding me more. Once I transcend this, I am a bird freed from the cage. I am infinite, I am everywhere, I am sarvagna, I am sarvatra. So don't we want that anubhuti? Yeah. Then what is binding me? These 3. Therefore, what is to be done? Hatavyani. That urge in me has to become stronger day by day, that I must transcend these three avasthas. I must transcend these three avasthas. Then how? In that pursuit, God comes in the form of some guru and tells us the need and technique of meditation. On that effort of meditation only, where we spend days together, we will accomplish this feat of transcending these three avasthas. But this transcendence of three avasthas is always complemented only by the second one called as gnayam. What is to be known? And they go together. Only by rejecting these three avasthas that we will know our essential nature. Or only in the effort of trying to know essential nature that we will be able to transcend these three avasthas, which are actually belonging to anatma, which are belonging to upadhi, which are only drashya vastus, which are just projections out of maya, which are actually unreal. These are the words which we have to repeatedly tell to ourselves. Then only the desires, both the desires will come. Desire to come out of these three avastha, desire to establish in a Gneya Vastu, that is ourselves. So, what is Gneyam? The Gneyam is the Chatushkoti Varjita Paramartha Tattvam. That which is not concept of asti and nasti, but Upanishad Vedya Aham Brahmasmi Anubhuti. That is called the Gneya Vastu. That's called a Paramartha Vastu. Be attentive, feel about it. Rope is a Paramartha Vastu. See how many things are imposed on that. The snakes, the garlands, etc. In the same way, the truth alone is a Paramartha Vastu. On that, so much of Yashti, Samashti, Stula, Sukshma, Karana are so much superimposed. Beyond all this, as it is purely untouched, uncontaminated, uncovered, that self is the only thing worthy of knowing. That's what it's called as Gneyam. Obviously, that will be discovered as my own self. Because again, two cannot be there. It should be only one without second. So, that Paramartha Sadvastu is Gneyam. Therefore, that which is not Paramartha, the three avasthas, to be given up, Atavya, and that which is essential truth is to be known or gained. That's called Gneya. Feel for these two as many times as possible per the day. Like as we said the other day, we take up japa when the Guru tells us for a long time, or we do daily upasana, we do Gayatri Mantra japa. These are all the anushtanas by which we are controlling the mind from going anywhere else, focusing the mind on this mantra. Now, higher than, greater than all that is doing the japa of this type of mantras and feeling for it more and more. Three avasthas, heyani, then paramartha vastu, gneyam, three avastha, gneya, heyani, paramartha vastu, gneyam. This is the japa we have to do. Heya, gneya, heya, gneya. Then that thought becomes powerful. See, whatever the powerful thoughts, vasanas are there, that's what helplessly we become victim of. Then we have powerful thoughts of worldliness. Therefore, we are forcing ourselves to be in the world. So, if you want to become effortlessly spiritual, effortlessly contemplative, meditative, in which these three avasthas are transcended and we become one with the self, then the samskaras should be so powerful of that. Always we remember about eliminate samskara, eliminate vasana, but we also must know that in the beginning we must also have positive samskaras of Paramatma so much that we are pushed toward that sadhana. As the sadhana is becoming natural and experience is being gained, then the vritti aspect of the samskaras, it goes away, it becomes swabhavika. But to become swabhavika, we have to have samskara. To become samskara, we have to repeatedly do it. That is why in Atma Bodha and all, it is very clear said, the more and more you do the Aham Brahmasmi Vasana, to that extent Aham Jivosmi Dehosmi Vasana goes away. Aham Brahmasmi Vasana Harati Avidya Vikshepan Roganiva Rasayinam. Evam Nirantarabhyasta Aham Brahmasmi Vasana Harati Avidya Vikshepan Roganiva Rasayinam. You have to take the medicine to remove disease. So you have to do the samskara feeling of Aham Brahmasmi to remove Aham Jivosmi Dehosmi. Here also these two things. Heyam, these three, Gneyam, that Atma, Heyam, these three. Subha, Dopar, Sham, silently. In our mind, few years we have to entertain this. Instead of that, what we entertain? No, I can't do this sadhana. I am not fit for that one. I only do this or that which is easy for me, and I'll continue to be only jiva. Here only I'll do some punya karma, some dana karma, some dharma karma. These are all you are feeding, and that's what you will become. And who is doing it? We. Who? The one who doesn't listen to Guru, who is telling drop all that, entertain more and more Aham Brahmasmi. Why do we do that? Because we don't respect Guru. Why do we don't respect Guru? Because we have ego. Why we have ego? Because we are stupid. What is to say? Naito, when Guru says drop all these kamzoria and zor badao aham brahmasmi ka, you just do it. How can there be a second thought when the best is told to us by the Guru? Unless we have ego. So those non-positive entertain. The non-positive have weaknesses, inabilities. This is how the trick of the mind and Maya works. Even in the world also, no, the banda who सोचता है मैं पढ़ नहीं सकता नौकरी नहीं कर सकता, he is fixing his thought in that direction, so his study नौकरी everything is gone, he'll just be liability to the world. But the other one, it's so difficult, but I'll try and get it, whether it is study or job. The one who is having that positive, somehow he is succeeding. That trait of the mind we have to use. मन जो चाहता है वो करके बैठता है, और नहीं करने का चाहा तो नहीं करेगा वो। तो मैं नहीं करूँगा स्टडी स्वाध्याय तो नहीं करूँगा तो करेंगे। सो दीस टू हेयम ज्ञेयम। Heya are the three avasthas. Neya is Paramartha Vastu. Why? Rajju Sarpa example. The Paramartha Vastu is Rajju. The Sarpa is Asatya. But in between these two, one more thing is there. That the Sarpa is seen but unreal. Seen and unreal is called as Mithya. What is the state we are now in? The Sarpa is real. So the three avasthas are real. We are in this stage. Three avasthas are unreal. We have to reach to that stage. But in between, what helps us from transcending from the reality to the unreal is three avasthas are there, but they are mithya. This mithyatva of the three avasthas is so essential in the middle stage to devalue those three avasthas. Only when we devalue them, then we can value the Atma Vastu. Be attentive. Only when we value Atma Vastu and pursue it. In the discovery of Atma Vastu only, these three are discovered to be asatya. देखो सत्य है जगत, उससे हमको किस में आना है? मिथ्या है। फिर परमात्मा क्या है? वी डोंट नो। उसमें से कहाँ जाना है? आई एम नोइंग परमात्मा। द कॉन्सिक्वेंस ऑफ आई नो परमात्मा इज दीज थ्री अवस्थास आर नेवर देयर. So the snake is real. This is the state we are in. What you have to do? Snake is only illusory. Then what is real? The snake rope. When you discard the rope, the illusory snake becomes non-existing snake. Because without knowing rope, you cannot remove snake. Even if you remove snake, something else will come because the truth is not realized. Is it not? In a snake, some other thing will come. So if no other imposition or misconception should happen, means what? The truth has to be apprehended as it is. What gives us the effort to ability to apprehend the truth? The devaluation of the Jagat. What is the valuation of Jagat? That it is real. What is the devaluation of it is? It is illusory. Because to say it is unreal, you have to experience rope, but to say it is illusory, there are some logics. What is that? It is temporary, it is going on changing, it is unstable. These are the words, these are the understandings will make us get convinced that it is appearing but not real, therefore it is illusory. जगत मिथ्यात्व भावना बहुत जरूरी है जगत को डिवैल्यू करके सद्वस्तु को जाने के लिए. सद्वस्तु को जान लिया तो जगत मिथ्या ही नहीं, जगत नास्ति. देन सर्वत्र सर्वज्ञः भवति. This is the meaning of this second word. What is that? Sorry, first and second, heya and gneya. They go together. When you know the gneya, then the heya is given up. Or when you give up the heya as a heya, then only become qualified for the gneya. Feel the meaning of these words in your own language. If you don't remember the technical language, language is only medium to convey. The knowledge is important, the conviction is important, the sadhana is important, the experience is important. भाषा कुछ भी हो, आप अपने हिंदी में बोल लो, पंजाबी में बोल लो, तो तेन अवस्था मैंने छोड़नी है और मुझे अपने आप को जाननी है, और वो बोलते जाओ, चौबीसों घंटे वही बोलना है. So that those samskaras become strong. When you do 1 year like this practice, no, suddenly on 366th day, you will see you want nothing else but Paramatma. That type of transformation comes because you change your inner software, causal ware of the samskaras. You made your samskara strong that you will come to class. Therefore, you are coming so effortless it is. It's automatic. हो गया कि नहीं अभी? एक दिन क्लास छोड़ने के लिए तो मेरे को भी मन ही नहीं होता है. I feel always pity for you and give some holidays to you. तो मेरा क्या होगा? इसलिए बोला नो हॉलिडे. You understand how this the power of these samskaras if it is negative and positive. Make positive. Okay? Now the third one we studied exhaustively. What is the apya? First, get rid of these three ashanas. Second, set yourself into the mood of a bhikshu. Then observe in yourself and consciously develop these three abilities. Putreshana, Vitteshana, Lokeshana, etc. In that only many other are there. In that what is said is Lokeshana is wanting to go to Swarga. Putreshana is wanting to go to Pitruloka. Then Vitteshana is want to be happy in this world. Means what? Other than the Atma Ananda, Atma Sukha, Atma Prapti, nowhere else I want to try to get the Sukha. Because nowhere else there is Sukha possible. Because all those things are illusory. That type of conviction is called as rising above three ashanas. That's called Vairagya. And it has got, as I just now said, the background understanding that every sukha in every loka, in every situation, with every attainment is a reflection of Atma Sukha only, not its own original. These are the few things when we are convincingly understood, then that three longings for the world called as technical asana will be able to slowly dilute and reduce. At the age of youth age, we play all the things. As we are becoming middle aged, you start thinking, oh, तो बच्चों का खेल है, मेरे को क्या खेलना है? You only subconsciously entertain that thought. Slowly, that sport goes away from you. That sport which we were involved in, that as if that alone is the life. हो रहा है कि नहीं वो? That particular sport at that time, which was Ashana, now at this mature level, you have given up that. You are उत्थाया, उत्थान हो गया आपका उससे. In that way, when we thoroughly understand about every world, Brahmaloka, Indraloka, Chandraloka, Bhuloka, in that whatever are there in which we were involving so far, seeking Sukha, all of them are giving Sukha because of the reflection of Paramatma only. They are not having their own originality. In fact, they are diluting Paramatma Ananda. Therefore, I don't want any one of them. Simply means I want only Atma Ananda. I want only Brahmananda. That type of feeling, which pushes away all ashanas. Like I want to come to class, remove all your other ashanas. Some of you might have even given up your cup of coffee also because it was getting late to class. There was a coffee ashana, but you said class is important, that has gone. And at the time, the mind was in two moods. Coffee piyu ya class karo ya dono karu. It goes for some time. Then somehow with your preparation practice, when you give up coffee, come to class, in 5 minutes you forget the coffee only till I remind you now. That coffee which was appearing so essential, when you have somehow kept it away, entered and immersed in the class, found to be not at all required. Same thing happens as we become deep in our contemplation of the self, that they are all understood to be not required and they are obstacles. But that is later on stage. But to enter into that path, we have to first of all give up these three ashanas. Sometimes practically we involve, but from the heart we have to give up. That was guided to us by Lord Krishna in the evening Bhagavata. If you are not able to become the Ananya Bhakta and you have some desires and you are involving in the world, keep on finding faults with them, Keep on telling to yourself, if not today, tomorrow, I want to get out of them. ऐसा करते करते मेरे तरह भक्ति बढ़ाओगे तो आई एंटर इनटू योर हार्ट, and my joy will be so much to you that you will only see that these negativities are removed by me. In Bhakti, Bhagavan taught us like that. Here also. And it is a necessary practice, necessary conditioning. Because mind being one, if that mind has got the force of the three Ashanas, it will think about that effortlessly, relentlessly, continuously, never available for our sadhana, never available for study of scriptures. नेवर इधर या उधर दोनों नहीं हो सकते. दोनों नहीं हो सकते में you may use mind to theoretically understand some of Vedanta along with these three Ashanas, but the conviction of this Paramatma Tattva, sadhana of Paramatma Tattva, finally Anubhuti can never be given to us by the Lord if we don't rise above all these three Ashanas. इसको पहले तैयार रखना, ऐसा मत सोचना ये भी मजा लूंगा वो भी मना लूंगा मैं, ऐसा नहीं होता. You can't have the sleep and waking both together, no? It is impossible. In the same way, that thought itself will make us hold on to the world, never give it up, never go to the self. What is that thought? कि I'll enjoy the world also, I want Paramatma also. ये नहीं होता है. We have to discover the Jagat to be Mithya, only then the Atma Anubhuti comes. So that way, the Eshana Traya Tyaga is being explained. And if you think it is impossible, it remains impossible. If you think it is possible, you can make it possible. It's all again in your own mind, in my own mind, about my own Yeshanas, about my own desire for Yeshana, about my own rejecting them. ये पक्का बात सुन लेना, neither भगवान nor शास्त्र nor guru nor anybody's hand it is in my own hand, it is in my own mind to say it impossible or to say it possible. So far हम कहते आए कि impossible है without these three Ashanas. You have to say it is possible and you can make it possible. If it is impossible, then the gurus would have not told, and if it is impossible, nobody would have realized Paramatma. Yeah, if it is impossible to rise above three Ashanas, it would be impossible to everyone. If it is possible to one, it should be possible to everyone. This logic should help us to say it is possible. At the lower level of not understanding convincingly the spiritual truth and not understanding the ephemerality of this world, a strong weakness comes in us where we say, I can't live without these three Ashanas. In fact, that alone is the life. And even the thought of coming out of also creates such a fear. Then immediately we involve in that. So we should know that it is possible to give them up and we should make it. So tyakta bahya eshana traya is a feeling. Okay. Then bhikshu. Bhikshu means living in minimum. Bhikshu is never extroverted. Bhikshu is always focusing only on the truth or reality. Is disinterested in anything else around and also his own upadhis for their comfort, for their sukha, for their bhoga. That thought also is not there in him. He is called as bhikshu at the high level of contemplative meditative. Such person, after achieving these two of Eshana, Traya, Tyaga and Bhikshutva, the next three were told are Panditya, Balya, Mauna. So we have exhaustively seen the Panditya is the thorough understanding about the truth and desire to know only it. This will not happen unless we repeatedly study only Upanishads under an able Guru's guidance. There's no other way. Other than Upanishad, they will sidetrack you or they dilutingly tell you about the truth. Only Upanishads are the ones which only talk about the truth, no digression. And that you can listen thoroughly from the Guru to make it easy for understanding. Such concern is called as the Pandita here. So the Panditya, we have studied about it. Okay? And in that Panditya, we said not only theoretical, all the time the inquiry is set in about Atma and Anatma. Continuously that is go on. Remember, this is called waking meditation while being in the waking world. Every moment, all the time alert about Atma and Atma Viveka. Every time we have to be. In other words, it's called Samadhanam, where Sarvadha Sthapanam Buddhehe Shuddhe Brahmani Sarvatha. This is a little higher than this Panditya. In the Panditya, with theoretical knowledge, only Brahma is Satya, Jagat is Mithya is convinced. And that we are always seeing in practice to see that the Jagat is Anityam or Mithya, Brahman alone is Satya. That Viveka we are going on doing. In the Samadhana Sthiti, not only this Panditya के साथ discrimination हो रहा है आत्मा अनात्मा का, but more and more is focus on only on the Atma Vastu, only in the Brahma Vastu. That's called a Samadhana Sthiti. Samadhana means Samyak Adhanam, means well placing our contemplation as well as our identity in the Brahma Vastu. Well placing our contemplation and our identity with the Brahma Vastu. It is called Samadhanam. तभी समाधान मिलेगा हमको सारे प्रश्नों का, क्योंकि हम आत्मा है, वो जानने से ही समस्याएं दूर होती. So Pandityam, do we have the Pandityam or not? Think for it. Are we convinced that एक ब्रह्म ही रियल है, बाकी सब मिथ्या है और उससे हमें बाहर आना है? Therefore, everything I see is having Rupanama, and behind that Suddha Sadgana Chidgana Anandagana Atma. Therefore, is the discrimination continuously working, in which the मिथ्यात्व to the Jagat is given, सत्यत्व is to the Brahma is given. ये चला रहा है, लगातार चल रहा है. It's a continuous inner fight, inner war, inner struggle. The earlier vasanas and earlier convictions try to make the world as real, anatma as real. And your new knowledge of Paramatma Tattva tries to say that it is unreal, the self is real. We have to go on. Till we make this party stronger and this party weaker. Can we do this unless we are a bhikshu, unless we have given up the three ashanas? इसलिए पांडित्य मिलना है तो यू हैव टू डू द अर्लियर टू. The one who is not a bhikshu is a samsari, and in the samsara he has got all the three ashanas, that also fully. His entire personality will be there only. इस बात को जरूर जल्दी समझना है हमको. That's why I said nivrittasya, pravrittasya. This shloka came earlier also. Pandityam is clear. Pandityam is through Shastra, only Parabrahma is real, everything is unreal, and I must experience it. For that, continuously I have to be aware about the Atma Anatma Viveka. हमेशा करते हुए this is not self, this is not self, this is not self, this is a self, this is self, this is self. Like that doing is Panditya. You do it as Atma Anatma, or you see as Jada Chetana, or you say is one or many, Ekam or Anekam, or you say best is what? Drashta Drushya. सबसे easy, सबसे effective is this one. I am the drashta, everything is drushya. Drashta is not affected by the drushya. More than druk drushya viveka, nothing helps us faster to understand, to do the sadhana. The whole world is drushya. I am the drashta. Drushya, drashta. Drashta is never affected by the drushya. Understand? Drashya is never affected with Drashya. Drashta is never dependent on the Drashya. In this way, keep on saying, keep on saying. Then let the strong thought become stronger that I am the Drashta. Then question comes, what is the nature of this Drashta? Drashta kaho ya Sakshi kaho, same. The nature of the Drashta Sakshi is only consciousness, existence. Therefore, conscious existing, Sakshi I am in this world, not an involver. With this, even Sakshi Bhava, when you drop, you are pure conscious existence. That is a Gneyam. That is a Paramartha Vastu. Okay. Then Panditya ho gaya. Then Balya. Balya means what? The Bala, the strength of using this spiritual knowledge. You know, this strength is such one, if not used, you become weaker. The more we use, it becomes stronger. So the Bala of using the Panditya is called as Balyam, or also the childlike innocence, non making of any issues, not valuing anything, living in the present, non reaction. We already said yesterday, Balya. Third one is so important, the Maunam. Now, that also means non reaction. The thought freeness is called Maunam. What is there is only self. Self is not a thought. Any thought is making not self only. There were no thoughtness is called Mauna. आत्मा अनुभव इज मौन स्वरूप बिकॉज इज वन विदाउट सेकंड. कौन किससे क्या बोलेगा उधर? But to enter into the Atma Anubhava, we have to achieve the Mauna of the Mana. For achieving the Mauna of the Mana, we have to achieve the Mauna of the Indriyas, Karma and Jnana. सो कर्मेंद्र ज्ञानेंद्र को स्थगित करके मन के वृत्तियों को शांत करोगे, then in that silence of the mind you experience the self. This mauna sadhana is so important at one level of life. I'll tell you one or two things, not many. कि देखो, what can we do with this world? Two things. One is what? It is not ours, it is Ishvara's. We can never do anything in this world by our choice. कुछ भी करो, हमारे हिसाब से दुनिया बदलेगा ही नहीं. Second is, in the truth, in the reality world is not at all there. With these two as the basis, we have to achieve the third one. What is that? Therefore, I need not do anything in the world. Therefore, I need not worry about this world. That stopping of worrying and doing is called as mauna. देखो, जो हमारे हाथ में वो करना, बाकी देख तमाशा. Other than that, you can't change the world. If the world can be changed, the Lord Himself would have changed, no? The avatars would have changed. So many devatas we talk about in this world, they will change it, na? So many jnanis, yogi, tapasvi, siddha purushas with all the siddhis, they are there. कोई कोई उन सबको नहीं पढ़ा है तो हमको क्यों होना है? Remember, all our effort in the world is only to purify ourselves and withdraw from it. World is given only for that purpose. Neither to change the world, nor to obtain the world, nor to give up the world, nor to improve the world, nor to destroy the world. All this is samsara. Now this Russia-Ukraine war. What can you do? You and I cannot do. Not only you and I, even big presidents of nations, they are not doing. आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते, बट क्या कर सकते? थोड़ा. You send your prayers for their well-being. Send your money. Is it not? That is in your hand for your own sadhana again. It will have its effect definitely. No thought goes without effect. You are chanting Om Sri Anumate Namaha, that is affecting there very much. But in a bigger scale, in a cosmic scale, it can't be changed. You can't totally wipe it off. Suddenly bring the war to stand still. नहीं हो सकता. Even that fellow who thought 3 दिन में मैं कब्जा कर लेता हूँ, उसके 40 दिन हो गए, एक मंडल दीक्षा हो गया. He is frustrated now. All my armors are over, all my सैन्य are dying. अब मैं क्या करूँ? He also, you don't think that fellow is doing. इसके द्वारा एक समष्टि काम कर रही. That I can talk to you only in the Mandukya class. It cannot be in the parliamentary discussion. It cannot be in the international forum discussion. There they will remove him from Human Rights Commission, all that. वो होगा, उधर का व्यवहार अलग है. बट हम आपको बता रहे कि nobody can change the world that way. This should help us in getting freed from outer unnecessarily doings and inner worries. That's called as mauna. Just look into the eyes of Bhagavan Ramanuja. He never tried to get the freedom for nation. He is in mauna. जो होना है होगा वो. He is in that highly meditative level. अब हुआ, so what? How much of the happiness of freedom we have? What is the use we got? एक प्रॉब्लम से तो आए, बट दूसरे में तो फंस ही रहे ना बाद में. और भी कुछ करने को ही है. Then how long this freedom remains? We don't know. If the system is corrupt, we are bound by inner people only, our own people. फिर से जाएगा freedom. So many things. Anyway, I'll not go into that track. The track is mauna. Absolute maunam. Where is we are not entertaining any thought, any activity other than that of Paramatma. That's called mauna. For all other things, chup, mauna. Anything anybody asks, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Then what do you know? I know only the self. Mauna, mauna, mauna from within. It's such a powerful word, the mauna. Silence. This is what in the evening Bhagavatam also we started studying. How the Shabda Brahma Sudur Bodham, that and these are related. Parabrahma is mauna. From the Parabrahma Mauna, the Shabda came. Shabda created every nonsense. Entire world has come from Shabda only. Today you will study it very thoroughly. So clear? Mauna sadhana, Balya sadhana, Panditya sadhana, Bhikshutva, and Eshanatre Tyaga. These are all Apyani. And what is Vigneyam or Gneyam? That is Chatushkoti Varjita Paramartha Tattvam. And what is Heyam? Laukikadi. Laukika, Shuddha Laukika, Lokottara or Jagrasapna Sushupti. Okay? Now the fourth one is Pakyani. That also we saw the Raga Dvesha Mohadi Mala. उसको ना तपस्या के गर्मी में पका के फेंक देना है. Not coming under their influence. Finding the faults with that type of thoughts. Slowly we have to remove these things from us. तो कुछ गलत खाना खाते हैं आप, फिर क्या होता है ना, यू टेक सम डाइजेशन मेडिसिन, फिर अंदर ही पक कर वो निकल जाता है. यू कांट डू एनीथिंग विद दैट. यू कांट वोमिट इट आउट थ्रू द माउथ. दैट्स हाउ द इनर हीट इज डूइंग. पकाकर पचाकर बाहर फेंक रहा है. In fact, in the food taken by us, more than 50-60% is unwanted only. But the system is made in such a way that that is cooked and thrown out and the essence is kept in the body. In the same way, which we spoke out of physical level, in the mind level also, this raga, dvesha, moha and this harishatga varga of kama, krodadi, उनको ना आप तपस्या के द्वारा गला के पिघला के अपने जीवन से निकाल देना है. So that's what. One of the things which else is continuous, constant will, what is a awareness about them, witnessing about them. Ki I am at this moment becoming a victim of raga toward this thing or being. Become acutely conscious. Then we know that this raga is how pulling me. Then being acutely conscious, add one thought, ki this is no good. I'm becoming a slave because of raga. I'm losing my own freedom. I'm made to dance according to their tunes. With these things, every time the attack of raga comes, every time we have to do counter attack and reduce its effect. And what is the goal to be achieved? Throughout the life, we have no raga even to anything or being. Zero raga. Absolutely free. So too from the dvesha. Absolutely zero. And it is possible and it is to be achieved. And if that person really freed himself from vasanas and clutches of the mind, if he can free himself from this raga dvesha and use whatever the weapons required. एक दो नहीं है, हजारों आपको औजार यूज करना होता है. To kill Ravana, one weapon is not required. You have to use so many arrows. Ultimately, Brahmastra. All the astras will work. One astra is what? Ki everything Parabrahma Tattva. Everything is Bhagavan Swarupa. Or everything is but is living their own life independently. Every jiva is evolving. How can I with Raga and Dvesha myself bind to that person, bind that person to me, bind that person to me? These are one positive. Negative kya hai? These stupid fellows, you should not get attached. They don't understand me. This also helps in coming out of Raga. जो काम करता है उससे काम लेना है. What works, use that. Work accomplishment is important. Is it not? The most powerful thing is what? I should and can and never trust anybody because I cannot trust my own mind. This is a very powerful Brahmastra. Not for any feeling because nothing is trustworthy. First of all, every jiva is mithya like myself. Second, every jiva is in his own goal of evolution. In between, we might have come together for some time. But definitely we go apart, not only for that person's evolution, but for my evolution also. It is inevitable, it is unavoidable. Therefore, why don't you accept in advance? In these type of very many weapons, when we use that kashaya of the raga as well as dvesha. Dvesha also, why should I hate that person? He behaved according to his nature. So I protect myself, I remain neutral. Why should I hate and how long I should hate? एक बार कोई गड़बड़ हुआ, you keep on remembering in the mind and hate for whole life. It's a stupidity only. No, raga by giving up the expectation, hatred by forgetting the mistake or dukkha received, we have to transcend them. किसी ने दुख दिया, क्षमा करके द्वेष को छोड़ो. किसी कुछ अपेक्षा रखना बंद करो तो राग खत्म हो जाएगा. Wherever we have raga means what? We have lot of expectation, lot of desires. Don't have desire, expectation, there is no raga. Unless the raga dvesha kasha is removed, the mind can never be pulled on into concentration either for mauna or for balya or for panditya or for bhikshutva or even for eshanatratyaga or even for knowing the gneya and finally giving up the heya. Will be ineffective in all these if this paktavyani is not done for these ragadveshadi kashaya. पहली बात ये होना है कि मैं राग द्वेष के फंदे में फंसा हूं. फर्स्ट यू हैव टू नो इट एंड देन डिजायर कि आई मस्ट कम आउट ऑफ इट. Then immediately thought come, then what about my family, friends, relatives? Without raga dvesha also you can be with them. First understand its possibility and make it possible. Is it not like gurus? They have 1,000 people around them, but they don't have raga dvesha to anybody. That means what? That is possible. पहले पॉसिबिलिटी को बिलीव करना है. That I can be with everybody, everyone required people without with raga dvesha. Somebody comes to us, so we talk lovingly, we give them what they want, what they came for. We listen what they say, then they went away. Where is raga dvesha requirement? कोई हेल्प किया हमने तो किया, उन्होंने कोई गिफ्ट लाया तो ले लिया, यूजफुल है तो यूज किया, नहीं तो किसी को दिया. व्हाट इज द नीड ऑफ राग देयर? बताओ, व्हाट इज द नीड ऑफ द्वेष? Even to understand this, that we are caught up in raga dvesha, which is not necessary, it itself takes lot of maturity. And what is making us worldly are these traits: kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, dvesha, raga ityadi. They are the ones we are pushing us into the world. आप जाना चाहते हैं spiritually, but these things never allow you. हो गया? So this is how, like viveka, vairagya, shama, dhamma, uparama, titiksha, shraddha, samadhana, mumukshutvam, with these 9 qualities, go to the guru, then there shravana, manana, nidhyasana we do, then we come to the dhyana anubhava in which I experience the self. In the same way here also. Heya, the 3 things. Neya, 1 thing. Apya, in that the 3 things again. Then pakya, 1 thing. Total मिला के इसमें भी 9 साधना है, करना है. हेया 3 has to be. Neya is 1 thing. आप्यार again 3. बहुत 3 क्या 5 है उसमें. And the last one पाक्य, तो कषाय का पका के निकालो. These 4 things, हे ज्ञाप्य वाक्यानि, इतना हमको कॉन्टेम्पलेट करना है. मैं बताऊं, 1 महीने मंडल के लिए 40 दिन, ओनली ऑन दिस वी हैव टू रेवेल, वी हैव टू थिंक, वी हैव टू डिस्कस, वी हैव टू फील अबाउट इट. देन ओनली दिस सेंस एंटर्स. नहीं तो क्या छोड़ देंगे, यू गो टू अदर श्लोक, अदर उपनिषद, इट इज ओनली एकेडमिक स्टडीज हैपनिंग, नो चेंज इज हैपनिंग इन अस, व्हिच इज नो गुड. Change should happen, transformation should happen. No more we are samsari, we must enter into samsara. Sadhana should go to sadhana little level and feel that comfort of reaching to some stage. नहीं तो हमारा सारे पढ़ाई का लानत है, मतलब उसको कोई फायदा ही नहीं होगा. धिक्कार है. Having said this, now he says, Sarvani etani, what are they? Heya gneya apyapakyani vigneyani, should be known bhikshuna by upayatvena iti artha. So a bhikshu should know heyagniya apabhakya as the upaya to give up what has to be given up and to reach to the self. Ityartha. This is the meaning of this first line. Then agreyanatha means prathamataha, sabse pehle. Now the second line is very crucial. What is that said? Tesham anyatra vigneyat upalambha trishu smritaha. Other than Vigneya, Atma, other 3 are Upalambha. This is what is said by every Rishi and Muni. This is the answer to the question asked by him. When we have to become knower of them and transcend them, that means we are accepting their presence. When you accept their presence, then how can you transcend them? They mean the three avasthas. So further he says, among these four, one alone is reality. The second one, other three are only formalities. Only they are helpful sadhanas only, but they are not there in the Atma Vastu. तीन अवस्थाएं है ही नहीं है आत्मा में. But you leave that, therefore, to come out of that, we have to tell you to become Sakshi. उसके लिए वो कहा, इसके लिए नहीं कि वो तीन अवस्थाएं सत्य है. So to the Apya, what we spoke about, the Panditya, Balya, Mauna, and Yeshana, Traya, Satyaga, these are all at the mind level. Mind itself is not real. How can they be real? So to mind is not there, then the Vasanas, Raga, Dveshas are not there. उसको पकाने की भी जरूरत नहीं. Remember, you are seeing snake, therefore we talk about snake to remove the snake. Not to say that the snake was there, therefore it was removed. Dekho, you go on talking snake, snake, snake only. Guru knows there is no snake. Still he talks about it for your sake. For him, there is other than rope, there is nothing. So to other than Parabrahma, there is nothing. But we talk about three avasthas, we talk about Antakarana, we talk about impurity of Antakarana. ये सब है ही नहीं परमात्मा में. That is his standpoint. But he'll have to talk to us, guide us from where we are. Therefore, he will say that they are all to be done like this. Because they are telling ऐसा ऐसा मैनेज करो, इसका अर्थ ये नहीं कि वो सत्य है. This is the main thought. At that moment, they are required for sadhana, but not to prove that they are there. Like in the entire Vedanta, सृष्टि की बात आती है कि परमात्मा is Maya Shakti, it has three gunas, it is Sankalpa. This is only to answer your question that where from creation came. From the absolute Brahma standpoint, there is no creation happened at all anytime. There is no creation. He alone is there. That is the way we have to accept, because he is, when he is called as Aja and Ajara and Avyakruta and Amara, these sentences, the definition of Atma, are valid only when the Srishti never happens. Bhagavan is unborn, unmodifying, unold, undying. Then how can any Jagat come from him? Cannot, no? Therefore, ultimately it is not there. Na kashi jayate jivaha sambhavasya na vidyate. Na nirodho na chpotpati na baddho na sadhaka. But in the process, it is accepted for the sadhana's sake. In the same way, oh my dear, Heya, Gneya, Apya, Pakyame, other than Gneya, the other three are only Upalambaha. They are only helpful aids to know the self. Doesn't mean that they are really there. It is like the non-existing snake, as it gave us the fear and dukkha, so to the non-existing these things will help us in sadhana. ये ऐसा ही है, उसको मानने के अलावा कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. As I told you, that example of tying that cow to that rope and sickle, without the rope and sickle being there, so too it is untied. The purpose is not to think about इसको tie किया, untie किया, तो था ही नहीं है, झूठ है. Purpose is to make the cow sit or get up. In the name, our purpose is to experience the self. For that, this tying we have done and untying is being done. We are the cow, we are seated. We have to become, get up and walk like a cowboy. इसलिए हमको ये सब बताना. This is what the shloka says. Now, Tesham, in the among them, Heyadinam, in those Heyagneya Apyapakya, Anyatra Vigneyatu, other than the Vigneya Vastu. Second one. Now, Vigneya Vastu is explained by Bhashyakara here. What are Paramartha Satyam Vigneyam? What is the Vigneya Vastu? Which I said in the earlier commentary also. Paramartha Vastu. Paramartha Satyam. Paramartha Satyam is supreme most final truth, which never can become untrue. Other things appear to be true, but on an inquiry, they are found to be untrue. ऐसा कभी भी untrue नहीं होने वाली चीज है, उसको परमार्थ सत्यम कहते हैं. That is विज्ञेयम. And what is that? It is a Brahman. It is a Brahma. He is a Parabrahma as per Upanishad language. And he is not two, it is Ekam. So Ekam Brahma, which is Paramartha Satya, that is Vigneyam. Ekam Sadvastu, that is Paramatma, Paramartha Vastu, that is Brahma. That is Vigneyam. Now, that Brahman, Varjayitva, other than that, Upalambaha, Upalambanam means upalambha, means avidya kalpana matram. Other than that Vigneya vastu, other than that Paramartha Sadvastu, other than the Ekam Brahma vastu, what are the other three things talked are? They are called as Upalambham. मंत्र में उपलम्ब कहा. तेषाम अन्यत्र विज्ञेयात् त्रिषु उपलम्बः स्मृतः. Upalamb means what? Avidya kalpana matram. It's only kalpana out of avidya only. And this one, Heya Apya Pakyeshu Trishu Api Smrutaha Brahma Vidbihi. The knowers of Brahman have very clearly told that Heya Apya Pakya, these are all only Avidya Kalpita. They are only Smruta Avidya Kalpita only. They are not real. Therefore, final thought क्या है? न परमार्थ सत्यता त्रयाणाम इति अर्थः. These three are not परमार्थ रूप से सत्य है. Brahmavidbi said. But at the call of sadhana, we use these words, we understand their meaning, and if it is to be given up, we give up, it is to be obtained, we obtain. But ultimately, they are not there. In the experience of Brahma Tattva, the Panditya, Mauna, Balya are not there. But they are at this level required to push us into that. There is no requirement of Eshana, Traya, Tyaga in Brahma, because these three lokas are not at all there in that Putra Vitta Loka. नहीं तो फिर ऐशना कहाँ से होगा? He is not a Deha Adi, therefore he doesn't need Bhiksha, therefore he is not even Bhikshu also. So, Tesham Anyatra Vigneyat Upalambas Trishu Smritaha. On this we are focusing and we are saying that Vigneya Paramartha Sadvastu, which is called Brahma, which is Eka. Other than that, all other Avidya Kalpit hai. Therefore, they don't have Paramartha Satya. Therefore, your question is answered this way, that we have to become witness of the three avasthas. Therefore, they must be existing. No, no, no. You are experiencing them and concealing the Atma in you. To get you out of that, the prakriya is told here. That doesn't mean that they are existing. They are not there. So, anyatra upalambaha trishu, anyatra trishu upalamba smritaha, anyatra trishu upalamba smritaha, vigneyat anyatra. So, adding to this, what we have already studied in earlier prakriyas, earlier prakaranas, in the Parabrahma Tattva, Dhyanam is not required. Contemplation is not required. Satsanga is not required. Guru is not there in that. Shastra is not there. Shishya is not there. All of them are in that experience not there. Lekin, upayatvena, all of them have to be practiced to reach there. Nobody enters house in the scooter or car. Lekin, up to the house gate portico, there is no way other than car or scooter to travel. You understand? In the house, nobody sits in a car or scooter. घर में तो उसकी जरूरत नहीं है. So the Atma is घर. All these things are car, etc. They are helpful only up to the parking level or outside. They are not required inside the self. गुरु, शिष्य, सत्संग, साधना, ये सब वहां तक ले जाने के लिए होते हैं. वहां जाने के बाद इन सब की जरूरत नहीं है. Therefore, upalambah trishu smritaha. See, the problem for the guru with the disciple is, ये कुछ नहीं है कहे तो साधना नहीं करेगा. असाधना करो कहते फिर ये सब है, therefore आत्मा अद्वितीय नहीं है कहेगा वो. That's how in the initial stages the funny disciple. But as they mature, they understand what guru is hinting at. They don't even have a question also. गुरु महाराज आप कह रहे हो सबको छोड़ो, मतलब है तो ही छोड़ सकते हैं ना. ये से बाबा नहीं है, जानना ही छोड़ना है, लेकिन पकड़ना है वहां पहुंचने तक. Like in the pure self, there are no dharmas. But all dharmas have to be practiced to see the self. Therefore, after practicing all of them, sarva dharman parityaj. Why you have to do parityaga of the dharma? Because Paramatma is such a dharmi, he doesn't have all these dharmas. So unless you drop them, you can't experience that. His only dharmas are Satchit Ananda, that's it. No other dharma. So in this way, this mantra number 90, we have seen exhaustively. Now, what is Paramarthatah then? See, point is, Heyapya Pakyeshu Trishu Api Smrutaha Upalambanam Smrutaha Brahma Vidbihi Na Paramartha Satyata Trayanam Ityartaha. Now, Paramarthatah tu The Supreme Self and its nature is. These three shlokas are very twisting, very crucial, very beautiful. One will see the meaning today, later Bhasha will study today. Prakrutyakashavadgneyaha sarve dharma anadayaha vidyate nahi nanatvam tesham kvachana kinchana. Prakrutyakashavadgneyaha sarve dharma anadayaha vidyate nahi nanatvam tesham kvachana kinchana. So, Prakrutya means by nature, Gneya, Sarve Dharmaha, the plural is used because we see so many jivas. From the Atma Drushti, plural is not there. But from the Jiva Drushti, we are studying and doing sadhana. Therefore, just to test us, Bhagavan is using the plural word. So, what is the point here? Gneyaha means to be known. What is to be known? Sarve Dharmaha, about the all jivas. What is to be known about all the jivas? Prakrutya, by nature, they are akashavat, like the space. Here, jiva means atma only. Atma to ek hi hai, lekin you are seeing so many jivas. In and through all jiva, atma is one only. That we have to realize. This atma in you, in atma in me, they are prakrutya by nature. They are akashavat. Which akasha? Chidakasha, or the example which we have started in this prakarana. The Ghatakasha, Mahakasha. The Ghatakasha is effect, Mahakasha is the cause. Mahakasha came from Ghatakasha. This is how it is. Sorry, Ghatakasha came from Mahakasha. Then what do we say? When the Ghata Kudyas or the Ghata's walls are broken, then the Ghatakasha merged in the Mahakasha. This is how we discuss. But later on, what do we say? There is no two Akasha like Gata and Maha. Ek hi tha. You only put the walls called as pot wall. Then you called it as inner Akasha and outer Akasha. अभी भी पहले तो दो आकाश हो ही नहीं सकते. सेकंड इज वो बड़े आकाश से छोटा आकाश आना और रहना कुछ समय. फिर आफ्टर द पॉट वॉल इज ब्रोकन, स्मॉल आकाश मर्जिंग इन द बड़ा आकाश. Nowhere it happened except in our own mouth. In the same way, pure self is like infinite space in which there never world came, never divisions came, never bondages came, never the liberation also required by breaking bondages. There's a meaning. We'll see furthermore. ये भी बड़ा श्लोक है, एक दिन लाएगा पूरा. प्रकृत्या आकाशवत ज्ञेयाः केते सर्वे धर्माः, and they are also anadayah. They don't have beginning, they are eternally there. Then in that Paramatma Tattva vidyate nahi nanatvam. Though I use the word plural for you to explain from your standpoint, but in the experience of self, it's one being without second. Nahi nanatvam vidyate. In the manyness is not there. Tesham kvachana kinchana. देखो सच एक कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी लैंग्वेज. कहते हैं उन आत्माओं में नानात्व नहीं है. अरे उन आत्माओं में व्हेन यू आर सेइंग, यू आर ऑलरेडी सेइंग प्लूरल. नो, उस आत्मा में कहना चाहिए. ही सेज उन आत्माओं में. In those atmas there is no difference. See the twisting there. When you say the plural word itself shows there are more than one. So that is a subtlety. Ki from your standpoint you see each as a jiva, and behind each jiva there is an atma. But this is from your sadhana standpoint. But siddhi aa jati hai na. When you discover the self, you don't see two selves. Self is one without second. So, vidyate nahi nanatvam tesham kvachana kinchana. Then this, the Bhashyakara will explain what is the meaning of Akashavat. And all that comes a very interesting shloka. These 3-4 shlokas. It is a Prakrutya, then Adibuddhya, then Adishantya, then Vaisharadhyam Nasti. These are very, very powerful things to explain. पढ़ेंगे हम, थोड़ा देखेंगे, and then we'll try to summarize. But last 2 shlokas, we have thoroughly studied for last 1 week. ज्ञाने च त्रिविधे ज्ञेये क्रमेण विदिते स्वयं सर्वज्ञताय सर्वत्र भवति हमादियः ध्येया ज्ञेयाप्य वाक्यानि विज्ञेयानि अग्रयाणतः तेषाम् अन्यत्र विज्ञेयात् उपलम्बस्त्रिषु स्मृतः. Other than Vigneya Paramatma Vastu, all the 3 are only avidya kalpita, but help us to know the self, therefore we use them. Other than that, they are never real. Don't think that it is real. That's the meaning of that sentence. But these 2 shlokas were that way, thoroughly studied by us. Then next ones we'll see tomorrow. Tomorrow is रामनवमी. वो अपना काम करेगा श्री रामनवमी. आप जब करना है अपने घर में करो. Our class will continue. आदिबुद्धा प्रकृत्यैव सर्वे धर्मा सुनिश्चिताः प्रकृत्याकाशवत्नेयाः सर्वे धर्मा अनादयः विद्यते न हि नानात्वं तेषां क्वचन किञ्चन आदिबुद्धाः प्रकृत्यैव सर्वे धर्मा सुनिश्चिताः यस्यैवं भवति क्षान्तिः सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते आदिशान्ताय अनुत्पन्नाः प्रकृत्यैव सुनिर्वृताः सर्वे धर्माः समाविन्नाः अजं साम्यं विशारदं वैशारद्यं तु वै नास्ति भेदे विचरतां सदा वेदनिम्ना पृथग्वादाः तस्मात् ते कृपणास्पदाः अजय साम्ये तो एकेचित् भविष्यन्ति सुनिश्चिताः ते हि लोके महाज्ञानाः तच्च लोको न गाहते अजय शोच संक्रान्तं धर्मेषु ज्ञानमीशते यतो न क्रमते ज्ञानमसङ्गं तेन कीर्तितम् अणुमात्रेऽपि वैधर्म्ये जायमाने विपश्चितः असङ्गता सदा नास्ति किमुतावृतच्युतिः अलब्धावरणाः सर्वे धर्माः प्रकृतिनिर्मलाः आदौ बुद्धाः सदा मुक्ताः बुध्यन्ते इति नायकाः क्रस्मतेन हि बुद्धस्य ज्ञानं धर्मेष्टायिनः सर्वे धर्माः सदा ज्ञानं नैतद्बुद्धेन भाषितं दुर्दर्शमति गम्भीरमजं सान्यं विशारदं बुद्ध्वा पदम् अनानात्वं नमस्कुर्मो यथा बलम् इति श्रीगौडपादीय कारिका सहित माण्डुक्योपनिषदि चतुर्थबलात् शान्तिप्रकरणम् ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ. If we need to or feel like reaching to a state of experience, we have to fulfill the conditions to reach to that state of experience. Same way, if we will feel like reaching to the state of a great Mahatma, we also should reach to the state where he is there in his understanding. If we want to reach to the state of Karika Kara and Bhashyakara, then we have to also scrupulously follow what they say. When they said about these four, these are the Heya, these are the Gneya, these are Apya and these are Pakya. They are saying it from that state of experience of Mukti. You and I also want Mukti, then we have to make these things in us. Else, don't expect that stage of liberation. Continue your samsara. कोई भी अनुभव चाहिए, कोई भी महात्मा के तरह हमें बनना है, उस अनुभव के लायक हमें बनना है और उन महात्मा के विषय जो है कहने का उनको हमें मानना है. If you have to reach to state of Karikakara, I must do what he says. And he said whatever he said only to reach us to his state. Like a yoga asana guru. He does yoga every day 2 hours, though he is fully fit. Everything's perfect of his system. Now he conducts class, and if you want to be like him, you have to follow his instructions and practice there. No, doctor. So to a doctor, he's so careful about his health. Every diet, everything is careful. Therefore, it's long living healthy. So if you also want to be long living healthy, whatever prescription he gives, or he gives your all diet chart or any other instruction, follow them. You will reach it. You should not never follow prescription, but I want to be healthy. It cannot be. You will be diseased only. So to not understanding, practicing what Karikakara said, but wanting to be in the state of liberation like him, don't go together. This common sense should become very stronger in us. Like Gurudev's quotation, no? Somebody asked him in a big question answer session. I told in one place sometime. Ki when Ramakrishna Paramahamsa touched Vivekananda, Vivekananda realized, what about you? He asked Gurudev, are you like Ramakrishna and all? Gurudev said very sarcastically, humorously, and also strongly. He says, forget Ramakrishna. You become like Vivekananda and come to me. My toe will do the job, he said. My toe will do the job of giving realization. No need to touch you also. Because you become Vivekananda. Don't think about me as Ramakrishna or not. In the same way, you become deserving disciple, you get the experience. If you don't deserve, then it will not come. देखो कुछ पाना है तो कुछ करना है ना. So we have to reach the state of Bhagavan Shankara and Karika Kara or any such saint of Brahmanubhuti and Mukti. There will be adamant of not doing what they say. Then it won't happen. हमेशा याद रखना. If you want to become MLA, MP, or if you want to become a rich person, whatever they did work, you have to do it to reach to that stage. वो बंदा वो बना है तो आपको भी बनना है, तो बनने के लिए उसने जो किया वो हमको भी करना है. If the small little things we don't remember, no, we are always make confusion in us. Or say कि मेरे को कुछ नहीं चाहिए, only we are coming for time pass. Then continue your samsara struggle. Is it not? ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. परम ऋषिभ्यो परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे मंडूकमर्षे गौड़पादाचार्यवर्याय आद्य शंकर अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. तत्सत्. ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. विदुर्नीति ले लो 10 मिनट.